he often says for you to be in the top floor,
Yeah.
your legs always should be in the shop floor.
What other things do you think are red flags for women?
You should not market yourself. Your work
Yeah.
should talk for yourself. No change happens without a bit of a sweat and tears. Can you share some experiences there also? I would love to hear that.
I thought this was about you and not about me. There is a lot of essence in building your life strategy based on your strengths. Earlier, you discover what your strengths are, life works out. So, let's talk a little bit about your Sankatna Angels.
We are in the process of raising funds for women-led firms,
Right.
particularly in the seed space or an angel phase.
What do we do to accelerate action in corporate?
Learning is always not about reading or watching something.
That's
It's about acting on it. Can I just say that I'm so excited to be back here
Oh, lovely.
to talk about my career. I don't know how to explain my excitement.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gayatri Kalyanaraman, our own Great Lakes alumni, PG XPM 2010. We are so happy to have you here back, Gayatri, if I may say. This is a year which is very special for us because Great Lakes has completed 20 years. And the theme for us in this 20 years is inspiring change makers. So we decided on this International Women's Day, what better way to celebrate than to bring back the inspiring change makers onto a campus. And I must say that you are one of the first that we are meeting with. So Gayatri's story is nothing short of amazing. So she started her career after doing her engineering degree with IT firms. Then she went on to technology in banking. And then now she is heading Sankatna Angel Investors. So multiple roles, multiple journeys, multiple milestones. So if you were to really summarize what you've been doing for the last 20 odd years, what would you say, Gayatri?
I'm a technologist at heart. So I think technology, but work as operational person. So I have been in the journey for more than 2.5 decades. So I call myself a technologist with operational excellence and having strategy always in my brain all the time. So like Professor Bala used to say, grassroots to getting into your head, ensuring that you're always in the path. That's been my journey, starting as an engineer, then become my leader, a technology leader, and then transitioning more towards change influencer, and then now as a investment management.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So fantastic. So it looks to me that you've kind of transitioned these multiple roles with Elan. I mean, obviously there must have been hiccups, there must have been barriers you overcame, and some challenges you faced. So if you can tell us a little bit about that.
Definitely. I think there is nothing, no change happens without a bit of a sweat and tears, right? While tears, when you talk about women, you think that it is just part of emotion, but it is happy as well as sad. My first transition, if you will, is when my son was going to be born, and I had to take a call. How do I go to US to help support my husband? The first decision was, can I quit my career and go as a dependent to the states? So other option is to stay back, give birth to the child, and then apply for the H1B, ensure that you have all the paperwork, and then get the project and go. While my entire family said, hey, it's also time to take a break, because at that point in time I had worked for like what 7-8 years. So then I took a conscious decision that it is time to invest in myself, and said I'll have to stay in the career, and stayed back in India, gave birth to my son, and changed my career from a pure software engineer to a leader, tech manager. While it may sound right now, if I look at it, it makes sense, but it took a lot of effort to convince my folks also.
Sure.
So it means that when I had to move to US, I also ensured that my father and mother could travel at a short notice.
Right.
Because when you travel to US, it's not easy to take care of a young child, young family on our own. I think that was one of the first decisions that we had to take.
Right.
It took a lot of effort to convince also everybody.
Right.
Because they think if you work for 5-6 years, why don't you take a break? Just
Right.
ensure that your family is taken care.
Right.
So the guilt that you often are imposed on as women, right? We
Right.
have to keep saying that quality and quantity are two different things.
Right.
I have often told myself that you can have a good quality family
Yeah.
without the number of hours you put in. I think that is one. The second decision I had to take was when I came back to India. I was fully thinking when I was in Chicago that I will work, I'll be into Kellogg's. I had also applied. And when I came back to India, I said, no, now that I'm back, I want to, my thinking was sort of, I was still thinking as a day to day. While overall, when I was doing it, I felt I was amiss, little bit of thinking was missing. I said, no, I should probably educate myself in doing it. So again, another, when I did that shift to educate myself,
Right.
there was a definite thinking that, will my family support it?
Yeah,
Right?
sure.
See, many times we don't actually give, as women, we don't actually create that support system around you,
Really. Okay.
including your neighbors,
Right.
including your, staff.
Hmm.
When I say staff, I have a beautiful My Fair lady who actually helps me stay, cooks food for me, and I also support her by ensuring that her children are well educated and extremely ambitious and everything, right? So you create support system around you, including a wonderful spouse. So that using that, I said I took a leap of faith for with
Sure.
Great Lakes.
Yeah.
I did my management degree. From then on, I should say, I felt limitless in terms of what I'm capable of doing. I felt every step I've taken,
Yeah.
while there has been a risk, but I also felt that I have a safety net around me. There is nothing that, I'm just leaping and I may not have a safety net. I've always had a safety net of myself, Rajeshwari. And can I just say that I'm so excited to be back here.
Oh, lovely.
To talk about my career. I don't know how to explain my excitement because when I'm talking about my story, right, in 2010 or 29, the first year, we were in Saidapet campus. We had our all our Indian Bank institutes, training institute. We were actually having our first sessions. It is amazing to come here. We had the first Srinivasan Kotler room was our first.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, amazing it is to actually be here and be in the campus and
I hope you got a chance to see that this time.
Yes, I did. And I also love the Dr. Bala's, memorial.
Oh, wonderful. So glad. Yeah. I mean, that's really been created to kind of reminisce and bring back memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
So glad.
And he often says, for you to be in the top floor,
Yeah.
your legs always should be in the shop floor.
Ah.
I mean, I know it sounds very cheesy and you may think, but every time you are confronted with some problem, am I thinking for everybody?
Yeah.
That's sort of
inclusive thinking.
Totally.
Yeah.
So you can say accelerating action.
Yeah.
But the action cannot come only for growth.
Yes.
It
has
ought
to
to
happen
come from.
Wonderful. Yeah. So, in fact, you mentioned some very interesting points. I'm just going to, talk about a concept called motherhood penalty that has been researched and found out that women who obviously take a break in their careers are, on an average, for the same role, we lose out at least 17 to 20% of our pays because of that motherhood break that we get. So, you raised that. I'm going to latch on to this phrase that you used, saying limitless thinking. Very rarely do women use this word, I think, without boundaries, limitless thinking, fearless thinking. And I was so glad to hear you say that. So where do you think you borrowed this? Was it your B school exposure? Was it your upbringing? Was it your spouse? I mean, who do you think you can attribute this to?
See, I think we are a combination of our circumstances and our experiences.
Right.
I truly believe that.
Yeah.
See, while you may think that our values are our own, but we are a product of our experiences and see, I have been brought up from a lower middle class.
Right.
And I should say I've got a privilege to have studied in NIT Trichy.
Yeah.
And I got an opportunity to study in Great Lakes.
Yeah.
And being associated with such renowned people.
Yeah.
In fact, Dr. Bala, the first things he said, hey, I wouldn't have gotten into accounting unless there was an additional pay that was available.
Yeah.
So he used to give simple instances of his decisions, which you'd say, okay, I could take such decisions
Yeah.
with very cautiously.
Yeah.
Okay? So, and at the same time, you actually say, okay, am I actually going in the right path? Create that goal for yourself, right? So, I think one definitely is B School, having CEOs next to you and having great guest lectures coming next to you. And you also have a pedigree of students and from your college coming in. And you end up meeting more and more people and to say, okay, is it possible that they have also been in this same space? I'm a firm believer that if you tell this to yourself that you can do this.
Self-talk.
Yeah.
Very important. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You and more you do this, right?
Yeah.
You actually you start believing that.
Yeah.
See, if you say, so there is a book, I love reading books.
Sure.
So Secret is the book that has also created a profound impact in me.
Yeah.
Saying, whatever we say, you can say karma, you can say a lot of things, but whatever you say actually bounces and comes back to you in some shape or form, right? I think that is one that has helped me navigate challenges in personal life, people around me help. Because what happens is more and more you think yourself, in a more unbounded way, and at the same time create a very clear path.
Yeah.
It's not like, you create it and say that this just happens magically.
Yeah.
There's no such thing, right? You actually hard work, perseverance, you are also persistent in your where you get to.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, what happens? I'm sure you have done so many career moves yourself, and there has been challenges that you had. Can you share some experiences there also? I would love to hear that.
I thought this was about you and not about me. Okay, I think for me, I mean, I have not moved too many careers the way you have. I think I moved from industry to academia. Industry, I was in hardcore sales and marketing, and then I moved on to academia. I think one thing I kind of kept as a continuity between the two careers is I found myself really enjoying working with teams or, how do I say, sales and marketing as a core. So I teach sales and marketing today, and that's what I was doing for like 15 years of my life. And I think there is a lot of essence in building your life strategy based on your strengths. And the earlier you discover what your strengths are, life works out, is my understanding. And I say this to my students also. You can get better at weaknesses to some extent, but you really need to figure out what are your strengths. So your long-term strategy will be built on that. So I think I realized probably early on that sales and marketing, and that is my area of strength. And I've stayed with that in terms of my career moves.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your Sankatna Angels. So entrepreneurship is one area I think the gender bias is felt the most. I mean, when you go to a VC for funding, obviously there are a lot more personal questions thrown at you and funding doesn't come easy. So it's so wonderful that you've embarked on this journey to help the early startup women entrepreneurs to network and get funding, etc.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little about that?
I would love to.
Yeah.
Sankatna Angels is a investment management firm, as you rightly put. We are in the process of raising funds for women-led firms.
Right.
And particularly in the seed space or an angel phase, where they are just about pre-revenue or post-revenue.
Right.
At the same time, their concept is validated.
Yeah.
So we are not into the friends and family, but we little more the next phase of it.
Yeah.
What the reason? I'll just give a little bit of a background why we are doing it.
Yeah.
The previous 6-7 years, what I've done is I've been a volunteer in Anita B. Dodaji. I've been a community leader.
Yeah.
So taken a lot of leadership roles to intentionally get women to stay in their career journey.
Right.
So many times you feel this is obvious, right? If you want to take leadership position, you have to be working long.
Yeah.
But it may not be as obvious for various reasons, because of society, because of your own family circumstances, and so one we have done is I've been in that space where creating policies which are conducive, resuming work. If you've
Right.
taken a break, how do you create
Yeah.
and how can companies create that kind of a resuming work? So when we have done that, when we were looking at what else
Yeah.
might we do, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you look at it, firms like Infosys and Accenture have like 40%, 43% women.
Right.
So I think from a corporate angle,
Yeah.
we feel like that seems to be have solved, but
Yeah.
leadership is still less.
Right. Absolutely.
When we only want to solve that, right?
Yeah.
What we have also found is out of the 100%,
Yeah.
if you look at in the survey done by BCG and Google
Right.
2 years back,
Mhm.
10% are 13% were women-run companies. I said, wonderful.
Hmm.
But when we dug a little bit deeper,
Right.
we found that out of the less than 10% had more than one employee.
All right.
It means that most of them were solopreneur firms, which were run by women.
Okay.
Right? So when we did a research and spoke to about 75, 80 people,
Yeah.
they were all saying that we are not able to raise money. Whenever we are raising money, there's a question, what's a passion? It's a not-for-profit, right?
Yeah.
So our own Sangatna Angels
Yeah.
people said, it must be a not-for-profit.
Right.
If it's a woman,
Yeah. Certainly. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
this is
Absolutely.
not a not-for-profit.
Yeah.
You
Almost non-serious.
no, non-serious, right?
Yeah.
So it's a passion project.
Right.
So that's not the case. You
Yeah.
actually can invest in women.
Right.
I'm so happy that the Accelerate Action
Yeah.
is all about fundraising for women.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And one more thing that we found
Yeah.
is that women-run firms also are very, very into impact,
Right.
livelihood.
Yeah.
It could be getting more people in working,
Right.
or it could be around climate impact,
Yeah.
healthcare impact.
Right.
So we felt we did not believe initially.
Yeah. Sure.
So we initially thought we will initially we thought we will do mentoring for women
Right.
founders.
Huh.
And we found that a lot of firms are already doing it.
Right.
But still, why is the numbers
Yes.
not showing?
Right.
Then we said, one is the investment.
Yeah.
So we created a round of community of investors like Sangam,
Right.
community of investors who are wanting to invest in women.
Right.
And the second bigger thing was we also identified a few spaces where these are all impact investment.
Right.
The moment you have impact investment, what happens is the investors who are coming in bring in patience as part of their virtue.
Right.
So when you have patience as a key ingredient you put in, you actually say, okay, I'm ready to wait. Sometimes it takes for a seed to actually build.
True.
Right? And moment you do that growth may be slower, but it will be more inclusive.
Yeah.
More impactful, right? You actually create an environment where you are ensuring that practices are in place.
Yeah.
ESG practices or BRSR, all of those numbers are numbered.
Right.
Looking at it, I think
we
felt more holistic in that sense. I think so. Long story, as short as Sangatna Angels is built for raising funds for women-led companies which are into impact. So we are. I'm happy to say that next week we are raising funds for 3 companies.
Okay.
On the day of March.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So to commemorate Accelerating Action, and I'm very thankful for our investors.
Right.
To
I'm
be
sure.
involved in that.
Absolutely.
Because company may say that I want to do it.
Yeah.
But there has to be investors who are also ready to say that.
Correct.
Today I may not be able to invest my time.
Yeah.
I'm ready to invest the money.
Yeah.
We have also have this because BSE has changed its policy to create fractional ownership on angel investment.
Okay.
Earlier it used to be the pricing used to be only 25 lakhs.
Right.
Unless you do that, you can't invest.
Yeah.
Now it's becomes much smaller.
Okay.
So your entry barrier for angel investment has come down.
Okay.
Because any kind of a financial sector, compliance and security is critical.
Right.
So the Government of India's policies also are changing to give this sort of processes and policies to make it happen.
Yeah.
So more fractional ownership, more you can have a NDA, and a lot of those documentation is easier, and we take care of that.
Okay.
What we found is when we profound impact is there when women are in the helm.
Right.
But at the same time, we also find many women get taken aback,
Hmm.
and they have to go through so many processes,
Overwhelmed by them. Huh?
overwhelmed, and you say, okay, why do I have to scale?
Right. Yeah.
If I have to scale, if they have to go through so many barriers,
Right.
I would probably stay like this rather than trying
Sure.
more, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that we are trying to remove that barrier and say it's easier,
Yeah.
not a difficult thing. We are here to support you,
Right,
sort
right.
of a thing. That's really how Sangatha Angels has formed, and we are still in a very early stage, ma'am.
Okay.
Because
But so wonderful to
mm,
hear this, really. Yeah.
Uh,
So I want to talk a little bit about corporate and how life has changed. Sheryl Sandberg, who is a former CEO of Facebook, and her organization Lean In, one of the talks that she said very clearly was that for a woman, the best investment is on herself, really, because you have to take care of yourself constantly so that you're able to, do other things and take care of others. And even the recent McKinsey report on women and gender has pointed out that the needle has moved a bit in corporates across various gender initiatives, but the playbook itself needs to change. I mean, the growth is too incremental to sustain. And our recent news report said that Accenture is doing away with its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. So, I want your view on, I know these things take time to change, but what do we do to accelerate action in corporate? What is your view?
I'll probably give a very finance and technology view of it.
Yeah,
that's
the hot area today.
Yes,
So,
I think one is while we keep talking about work-life balance,
yeah,
within work, I think we also have to think about work and learning balance.
yeah.
See, constantly, what happens is,
Yeah.
My own colleagues, male colleagues, when they
Yeah.
actually work
Yeah.
the usual hours, and then
Yeah.
they go home or on the weekend, they
Right.
actually invest in certification,
Okay.
invest in learning a few
Right.
new technology.
Yeah.
Because earlier, technology used to change once in 15 years.
Yeah.
Now technology is changing every
15 years.
5 years, right? And the policies that I'm talking about, financial regulations, are
Right.
changing dramatically.
Absolutely.
So the upskilling
Yeah.
is the need of the hour.
Yeah.
Then what happens when you don't have that free time,
Right.
me time
Yeah.
that you talk about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think that is one area that women suffer in
Yeah.
corporate.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I was part of a change management group
Right.
where we used to solve it, Learning Tuesdays.
Yeah. Okay.
Learning Tuesdays used to be every alternate Tuesday.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Right.
male, they actually spend time and energy into learning for themselves.
Okay.
It's not a free for all kind of a learning, but you actually sign up in the beginning of the
Oh,
year.
lovely.
This is what I will do,
Nice idea.
and then you hack.
Yeah.
You actually learn by doing it.
Right.
Learning is always not about reading or watching something.
That's
it's
right.
about acting on it.
Yeah. Of course.
Then what happens is your cycle of
Yeah.
comfort factor,
Right.
everything becomes better. You are not in your comfort zone saying that I know this technology, I will
Yeah.
stay in this technology,
That's
or
right.
I know this process, I will not.
Yeah.
So ability for you to move into a different one.
True.
That is one process that I often recommend, and
Yeah,
we have
absolutely.
implemented it.
And that way, I think technology is kind of democratized learning and also made women to maybe learn at their own pace and their own free time better, I would think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of my podcast guests
Yeah.
last week, Rachna Shenoy, was saying that she takes about 1 hour of commute
Yeah.
from home to office.
Yeah.
So she says that 1 hour I spend on Udemy.
Right.
I am sorry, I'm using a brand, but any kind of a MOOC, right?
Yeah.
Large learning. You actually spend energy and effort into doing that,
Right.
rather than consuming some content. And then once she reaches office, whatever she has to exercise that is there,
Right.
or once she immediately spends that 15 minutes to apply
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I think that that understanding of
Yeah.
that there are available
Absolutely.
resources are available for you,
Right.
and then using them.
Yeah.
I think so that is second example I wanted
Yeah.
to give. The third example will be around how do you create yourself avenues to learn and experiment in a larger form. So I was talking about learning Tuesdays, and there are areas in which they actually do a buddy system. You actually say, okay, there are programs that organizations provide, and say, okay, 6 weeks I will do. I will. You can come in and learn for 2 hours in a week, in a day, in 2 hours a week, and then after that program, you finish that learning that part, and then go and shadow this person, so that you can actually learn what they are doing. So it's another 6 weeks of actually shadowing or a buddy program. So and then what happens is, you want to be let's say a leader, or you want to be a manager. You have to not be able to walk in their shoes. True. That's another way to skill yourself. And the person who's actually being shadowed becomes a mentor. So mentor-mentee relationship, I wanted to share. I think I have been privileged to have such beautiful
I
mentors.
totally agree with you that this mentorship concept is so important for working women, is that because you don't see too many senior management women anyway. So then how do you kind of navigate your path? And so I think mentorship is a very important program.
It's very important, I think. So I think what we have done in many firms, what I have deployed is 2 phase. One is many of my mentors are male. Male allies. So who say, this is what I've done, this is why I've done. And they also brainstorm with me, saying that how this decision was taken. And that is one way to get that. And then whenever senior women come to a location, we ensure that there is a fireside chat with them.
Oh, that's lovely.
So you actually get to help understand the behind the scenes.
Sure.
How one of the stories I remember. So this lady said, the one program was running for about 2 years, and it kept slipping. Right? She said, this is she was given the opportunity to run that program, and that program was to shut down one big back office system. So that was almost 100 people were working for it, and it was a Achilles heel for the whole department. So she looked at it and said, what is going on here? She said, okay, the hardest part was when she realized that one of the thinking of this program was to also make her own role redundant. Not only the team which was working, but also the whole redundant. So once she was realized that, she said, one of the first things is, oh, am I being penalized? Then she said, no, I'm not going to think like that. Because I have a pedigree, I've done. So she actually spent the next year and a half. She said, I'm actually going to do the best, and I am to shut down this back office, do the integration, do the entire migration and everything. And then her role also became redundant after the end of 18 months. She had done so well that she got a double promotion after that.
Wow.
Into a different department.
Totally deserved,
See, so I think sometimes we think there is where we make a mountain out of a mole. It may not be the case. You may actually be called for actually a very, very clear thinking. So what I'm saying is, such a story has stayed with me. It's not like she told me one-on-one, right? She actually told it in front of like 100 people. So sometimes you have to keep your don't feel that you're the only one. Many times I felt in big meetings, and the only woman. So you should not feel isolated. You feel you are integrated with
True.
More and more you feel integrated with it, and ensure that overall you're doing things for the overall organization.
That's right.
And get more and more people into it. I think that inclusivity, you have to keep thinking. I kind of feel that would help in terms of ensuring that you would seek out mentors. Another thing I did when I recently joined, not recent, 3 years back when I joined DBS, was I created the 30, 60, 90-day plan. Normally everybody does. One of the 30 days, like meeting everybody around you, understanding your role and everything. With my 60-day, what I did is I said, I will seek out a mentor who's in the same location as me, and one is global. So I think it helped me in 2 ways, right? One is understanding the culture of the organization.
That's right.
Because senior when you're actually joining as a senior leader, you
Right.
ought to seek out mentors.
Mm.
And lo behold, in a 6 months down the line,
Mm.
somebody from some other location came and thought and said, "Hey, can you be my mentor?"
Okay.
So that you have to be a little bit benevolent
Absolutely.
with your time.
That symbiotic relationship kind of works
Correct,
out in the
correct.
long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also become more, often when it's called mentor-mentee, but you actually learn from the other person.
True.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
It could be around their challenges, it could be
Absolutely.
a different
Oh, yeah.
ecosystem, it could be a different...
Sure. Now that you're mentioning it, I'm thinking of a couple of mentors that I had who made a tremendous impact on me. Sometimes, of course, during my times in corporate, there weren't senior women in my organizations. So I would normally have chats with my senior bosses and maybe even their spouses, because at the core of it, I think many things about life stage and awareness and all that. See, the other thing I wanted to highlight was this, terminology called confidence gap. See, I see so many women who are so talented, done post graduation, the fast learners, etc. But, they're not able to translate that into confidence at the workplace.
Okay.
Whether you're asking for a promotion or that hike or that location change, they're not able to bring themselves up. In fact, research says that if for a job application, if a guy is qualified like 65, 70%, he'll just happily go and apply.
Yeah.
A woman who's qualified like 95% plus, she'll think and think and think whether she wants to apply for the job because there's a confidence
Correct.
gap lacking. So I think this itself is holding back a lot of women. Like this, what other things do you think are red flags for women, that they should watch out for that will impede them from moving ahead?
Many, actually.
Yeah.
See, one is this confidence gap, very, very clearly put, right? In
Yeah.
terms of going and applying.
Yeah.
And sometimes you may think, would they actually allow you to be
Yeah.
expand your role?
Yeah.
So the one definitely red flag I've seen is the self-belief. Sometimes
Right.
people think that you have to be told that
Yeah.
you can do this.
Yeah.
See, in corporate as well as anywhere,
Yeah.
you don't have to be an entrepreneur alone
Yeah.
to go and try experiments.
Yeah, sure.
You, even in corporate, in wherever you do,
You should be like an entrepreneur, they say,
entrepreneur,
right? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to be saying, okay, you can do this,
Yeah.
get an approval, and
Yeah.
then go and do it.
Right.
So I'm not saying that go and do something completely bizarre,
Right.
not with the
Sure.
the values of the firm.
Yeah.
But I'm saying this ability to take a few experiments
True.
and go and showcase.
Yeah.
I think that is one I feel is less. The second is ability to market. Marketing, I know you are coming from a marketing background and you can fully relate. So you often feel that you have to be,
Visible.
yeah. If it is
And you
visible,
put your efforts out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're visible, is not a way. You will not be taken in a right sense. Right?
Right.
I think you should not market yourself. Your work
Yeah.
should talk for yourself. I think that is one I
Yeah.
feel that impedes one.
Yeah.
I've seen women who are spectacularly successful,
Yeah.
but you don't get this.
You don't even know about
Yeah.
them many times. Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
So I'll give a
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
So I at a point in, I think 2019 to 2020, I
Yeah.
was very active in my alumni network. I still
Right.
continue to stay
Yeah.
active in mine. So when I meet new people,
Yeah.
women, I ask a couple of questions to understand their background and
Yeah.
everything. And it takes a few minutes.
Hmm.
Any male I meet,
Yeah.
the second or third minute or
Mhm.
third question, if we can, they'll tell their entire resume in a short, succinct manner. Not in a, I'm not saying from a showing off or anything.
Sure.
But they just want to share their
Sure.
entire
That's
career
right.
resume.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Attribute. In fact, I often tell my mentees, do you have your resume in
Yeah.
3 minutes? Can you please tell that?
Yeah.
Or 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. And share your highlights.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, if you're able to bring that highlights in a 2-3 minutes,
Yeah.
keep practicing, keep honing, keep
Right.
adding to it.
Hmm.
But you should be able to tell that.
Right.
It's your own elevator pitch.
Right.
I think that is in terms of visibility.
Yeah.
Because if you are not showing visibility about
Right.
yourself,
Yeah.
who
The world
else
will
might?
not know you.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
The other is creating a village
Hmm.
around yourself. Right? Sometimes I feel perfection, right?
Mhm.
Everybody wants to be perfect, and because they have been perfect in the earlier role. When you
Mm.
are having a lot of obligations that
Yeah.
come in,
Yeah. Yeah.
you end up, if you want to do perfection on everything, right?
Right.
What happens is you are not ending up investing on yourself.
Self.
It could be
Correct.
sleep,
Yeah.
it could be good quality food, it
Yeah.
could be good quality friendship.
Mhm.
Many times I'm a victim myself, right? Now I have time and energy to go and meet friends. Otherwise,
Right.
no, 10, 15 years, I could not invest time
Hmm.
for my friends. I used to just say hi and ensure that I keep texting or giving them a short email earlier.
Right.
In my Yahoo groups, I used to send a message and say, hey, so and so, that way you're staying in touch,
Yeah.
but not investing in that.
Right.
That I think that creating a village
Yeah.
for yourself, I think that is another, I feel it's not a, I won't say completely red flag, but I feel women take on more
Okay.
and
Sure.
like to do perfection more.
Okay, that was quite insightful.
Yeah.
I think we're nearing the end of the podcast. So I heard that you do a podcast yourself on software success stories and a few other initiatives. So can you tell us a little about those?
Sure.
Yeah.
So Software Eco Stories started 6 years back.
Yeah.
There are more than 50 lakh people who are in software industry in India.
Yeah.
And not just in across the board, across the globe, I think it's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So, we started with stories not told
Right.
often.
Huh.
Right? You don't have to be a CEO for your biography to be written.
Okay.
So we felt if somebody can share their career
Right.
journey
Hmm.
in a 45-minute, 1 hour
Yeah.
audio,
Yeah.
how cool it'll be.
Yeah.
And somebody can learn from them.
Mhm.
Like the way I was talking about the story, you actually learn from them. Many times you tell us there's a story.
Hmm. Hmm.
For somebody to remember
Yeah.
and relate to it is a lot higher.
Right.
Shivaguru and Chitra, the three
Right.
of us, we
Yeah.
actually host a podcast called Software People Stories.
Okay.
It's available across the platform, and this is the 7th year.
Oh,
It's a
lovely.
340 odd
Wow.
stories.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and every Friday we release a podcast. And
Fantastic. Yeah.
so it is a not for profit. It's not.
Yeah.
We are not doing it from a profit perspective. But what
Mm.
we are thinking is more and more stories are told out there.
Yeah.
It becomes more inspiring.
Yeah.
right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Certainly.
And couple of things that we have got great feedback is not only we have great listeners,
Yeah.
we have had times when the podcast itself is given as a link in the resume.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to know about me in depth, not only do you have a 2-page resume,
Sure.
but also here is
Link to the
my
podcast.
intro.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah.
And quite a few people have told,
Yeah.
but I have never told my biography.
Yeah.
I've never actually been able to revisit
Yeah.
my career journey, just like how I am doing it with you. I
Yeah.
am finding it very enthralling
Yeah.
that the seats have
You're
changed.
able to
actually
relive those memories. Yeah. Yeah.
So actually do that, and then that way, what happens is you are inspired with your own
Right.
self. And
Yeah.
how do you go, take your next step?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because
Right.
more and more you take the next step
Yeah.
and say what next,
Yes.
and pivot.
Yes.
Because can you imagine ourselves in the small Nokia phone or
Yeah.
the dial phone?
Yeah.
Just like how technology has changed
Right.
us. Or in fact, 30 years back, 40 years back, when you don't have roads and
Right.
we've all gone through ulakas or even
Yeah.
train journeys and everything. I think we have to keep adapting ourselves.
Yeah.
You may think, yeah, makes sense. Our parents have adapted, we'll also adapt. But the rapidity
Yeah.
in which we have to change
Yeah.
is enormous.
I know. True. Yeah.
That could overwhelm
Overwhelming. Right. Yeah.
I feel my sakhis or my friends
Yeah.
actually help me
Okay.
at the time of being overwhelmed. I think that if I can give one nugget,
Oh, please.
wisdom.
Yes, do. Yes, do. Please do.
If there is one nugget I would
Yeah.
really tell, you have your group of
Right.
friends
Yeah.
who also become your board of advisors.
Yeah.
Even.
Sure.
In companies, we actually have
Yeah.
steering committee.
Yeah.
If you can have steering committee for friends
Yeah.
and for your steering committee for your program,
Yeah.
for your
Organizations.
companies,
Why not for
everything.
yourself? Yeah.
For yourself.
Yeah.
And that you have to seek.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. True.
See,
Yeah.
remember, no, any kind of a board
Yeah.
doesn't happen automatically.
True.
You can't say, okay, hey, magic and it's happened.
Of
right?
course.
You actually have to seek out.
Yeah. I mean.
And you actually have to seek yourself and say, have like-minded people.
Yeah, sure.
There are always, I'm from ECE background.
Yeah.
So I will keep talking about wavelength
Yeah.
and,
Frequency
that
and all that.
frequency and everything. So you don't have a same wavelength with everybody.
Yeah, sure.
With a few people you do. So you actually keep broadening that and
Yeah.
say, can you actually think of yourself as more all encompassive and keep doing that. I think that I feel will help
Okay.
in terms of when you're overwhelmed and say, how can I do this?
Yeah, sure.
Because somebody else will actually say, okay, well, let's try this, let's
Yeah,
try that.
sure.
So I think, or somebody has tried it and they would tell.
Hmm.
So that creates a sense of, moving you
Yeah,
out of the
right.
discomfort zone. I have many times I felt
Yeah.
when I moved from corporate job to a consulting
Right.
job, it is extremely hard
Yeah.
for somebody to do it because you on a corporate job,
Yeah.
you actually on a month-on-month basis you are getting a money.
True.
So in a corporate job,
Yeah.
actually leaving that and saying consulting, while it may look very glamorous,
Yeah.
it takes a bit of risk that you have to take. Right?
Yeah.
Then somebody who actually had done it already, he said, hey, I've done this.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Right.
You also have a fallback.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of an instance, when I moved from
Yes.
ThoughtWorks to PM Power
Yeah.
Consulting, actually I relied on those
Okay.
board of
Fantastic.
advisors.
Yeah, right.
Because that
So
helps you to say, okay, and I'm saying because
yeah, it navigates you and you feel quite
correct.
energized with that. Okay.
Exactly.
So that was wonderful talking to you, Gayatri
Mm.
Kalyan Raman. We're so happy to have you here today. So inspiring change makers, Gayatri Kalyan Raman, PG XPM 2010. The International Women's Day theme is Accelerate Action, and we can see Gayatri doing that completely with her own initiatives. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Rajeshwari. And if I can share one nugget,
Yes.
I would love to say, if you want to win the race,
Yeah.
please stay in the race.
Yeah.
It means invest,
Yeah.
increase your areas
Right.
as well as ensure that you keep innovating.
Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly summarize in 4 points what Gayatri has been sharing with us. The first one is just hang in there. I think there will be multiple challenges, multiple dilemmas coming your way, but just the thinking that personal and profession really adds on to each other should keep the journey going. So hang in there is the first one. Second is this seeking this perfection myth. I think when you're playing multiple roles, if you try to be a perfectionist in all roles, it takes a toll on you. So you will not end up investing in yourself. And therefore, you will not be a long-term player. So just watch out for the perfection myth. Third is to have a board of advisors for yourself, or you call them mentors. And I think this is very important since you are dealing with multiple milestones. For each of the areas, you may want to seek out a set of people that you will want to take advice from. And last but not the least, her nugget is if you want to win the race, you should be in the race, right? So 4 points, hang in there. Seeking perfection is a myth, board of advisors, and win the race. Thank you once again, Gayatri.
You're most welcome.